All right. We'll pick up where we left off. Initially, I was reluctant to move because I didn't want to be a burden on the helpers. I didn't want them to come to me and think there was something wrong with me or that they needed to tend to me because I was fine. I was absolutely great. But she said, no, you're helping them. Keep doing it. So I did. Then the music began playing for real. And she said, okay, we're going to go from the other realm back to this realm. And you're going to experience this in the physical. I said, okay. And so I moved my body with the music in movements that were very similar to yoga movements and positions. Then she said, see, this is where yoga started. And I said, oh, this makes so much sense. So I was doing the yoga positions and moving to the music. And I was still in my bed. And I felt like I was helping some people to see some joy and positivity. And then it wasn't all just pain and suffering. I don't know that all the people who were vomiting and wailing and cursing were suffering because I don't know what they were going through. But that's how it sounded. Then I opened my eyes and I looked around and everything looked very trippy. So she said, you should see it with your glasses on. And I brought my glasses that night. I didn't bring them the first night because I wasn't sure what the experience was going to be like, so I didn't want to break them. But I did bring them this night. So she said, take a look with your glasses on. So I put my glasses on and it was cool, so cool. There were so many different colored lights and shapes inside the Maloka. It was incredible. I thought, how did they get all these lights in here? It was like a club. It was like a disco. It was crazy. But she said, no, this is what you're seeing in your experience. This is what you're seeing in your experience. You should see outside. So we got up to go outside. But I said, wait, we need to talk about what I'm to do in this world. I know my purpose is to experience and share joy, but I don't know how to do it in a way that I can finance my life and still help others. She told me not to worry about that right now. We'll deal with that later. Just enjoy the ride. So we went outside and the stars were amazing. And in contrast to the night before, there were multiple people outside with mattresses on the ground, many more people outside on the ground, whereas the night before I was the only one. A few people came but didn't stay while I spent the whole night outside. I started to walk back and forth, staring at the stars, and I noticed my friend was doing the same thing. So we enjoyed our time passing each other, and the more I walked, the more I would dance, because Pachamama told me that it would be cool for other people to see me dancing and see me passing the door like some kind of heavenly vision. January 25th, 3:30 p.m. So when I went outside and was dancing back and forth in front of the Maloka, I looked up into the stars, and there's so many. There were so many. And so clear, and I could see so far. I could see the Milky Way. I looked up and said, yup, that's a vagina. And she said, yes, duh, because of course she's in my voice. So we have a nice rapport going. And she said, doesn't it make sense now? And I said, it makes total sense. It makes total sense. And just kept looking up and dancing. I enjoyed dancing, but thought, I'm just dancing. I should be doing more. But she said, just dance. You're doing your job. So I said, okay. And I was enjoying myself. Although outside, people were strewn all over the place. On mattresses, not on mattresses, on hammocks. Just bodies crumpled everywhere. There was everywhere. It was crazy. I mean, I still can't believe that I did this. But I'm so glad I did it. I mean, I'll never forget this. This was the most amazing, unbelievable experience. Anyway, just bodies crumpled everywhere and writhing and moaning and talking and speaking in tongues and vomiting and all sorts of everything. The fire was going and people were walking in and out and sitting on the steps, and some people walked around like zombies. Everyone was in their own little world, but everyone was doing it together, and we were trying to give. At least I was trying to bring some light and joy to the experience. After some time, I wondered if they had called for the second cup, but Pachamama said, you don't need another one. 1 cup is enough for you. So I said, okay, that's cool. I'm good with that. I felt great, but after a good amount of time, I told Pachamama that I was starting to feel tired. So she told me that I could lay down because I had done a good job. she said, you can lay down now. You did your job. You did a good job. Because apparently, Capricorn, you need a job. To which I should have said, well, if you just let me win the lottery, I don't need a job. And I laughed and I said, okay, I get it. And we can talk about it later. So we went inside and I laid down. I felt like I was really sobering up and coming out of it. But I thought, well, people seem to really be in it. And other people took a second cup. And I'm going to be laying here for a while sober. So I laid there on the mattress and started thinking, oh, this is going to be unpleasant laying here, coming off this high, just waiting for these people to get off their high, because these episodes can last quite some time. And I didn't want to do that. Similar to when you're out with friends and you don't want to stop drinking before they do, or you know how it goes. So you just continue just to pass the time till everyone's ready. But ayahuasca is not like that. You don't just take another cup to pass the time. It's not just a high, it's a teaching tool and it's medicine. So you don't know what's going to happen when you take it. You're not necessarily going to be in this woo-woo psychedelic place, enjoying flying over cities or whatnot. So I laid there and called for they called for the third cup, and I thought, well, the shaman had earlier in the night had said the third cup was going to be a small one. So maybe I should just go over and get another one. Pachamama didn't say anything when I thought this. She was quiet. And so I got up and got a third cup, thinking, well, this will help me to pass the time until everyone sobers up. So I went into line. There weren't many people in line. I approached the shaman, and he asked me if I had any effect from the previous cup. And I said, oh, I had an amazing night. And he said, okay, good, and gave me a full cup to the brim. It didn't occur to me that I thought he was only going to give me a small amount in this cup, but I drank it all. You drink it right in front of them, so it's not like you can just not only drink half. But I drank it and went back to the mattress. I sat up for a while, as they tell you to, and eventually laid down and tried to breathe through the nausea. I was able to do that for a while, and I went to a place up in the ethers or wherever and visited the realm where ideas come from. Ideas that change the world, like Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk level ideas. She told me that was where we were, and we went to a bar that was there. Some intergalactic bar that was like Star Wars, but way past Star Wars. And there were some people there. It wasn't terribly crowded, and she said, this is where you come and everyone talks about ideas. So this other realm was some place that you can go to and you can visit consciously or intentionally. She was trying to teach me to control things on my own, but I wasn't quite capable of doing that yet. I think because I wasn't ready, but I was trying and I was almost doing it. So I went to the bar, and a woman walked up to me and welcomed me, and she said, come in. You should stay. She was just total love. And I said, I would like to, but I have to breathe to stay. And it's taken me some effort to stay here. And that's when I had the sensation of having to go to the bathroom. So Pachamama said, you should go to the bathroom. I said, okay, even though I didn't want to leave. I said, okay. And I got up and I went to the bathroom. I'll save the next part for the next, because it's funny.